Alright, today I'm going to be making some awesome sailor style shorts, as you can see pictured here. I'm really excited to show you this video of how I jumped in and made these shorts using Gertie Sews Vintage Casual book, her sailor shorts. So I have tried to make her cigarette pants, and yeah, fitting pants is just really tough. So I think for this project, what I'm going to do is I will make a sort of mock-up first to see how the pattern needs to be altered to actually properly fit. And then hopefully I will be able to come up with a pattern that I can use over and over again for whatever pants or shorts I choose to make. So we're gonna see how this goes. I won't be using a stretch fabric. Last time I tried this project, I did use a stretch fabric and it was just big everywhere. But I'm not sure that I measured everything as precisely as I should have. Also, I didn't alter the pattern, so I'm gonna give it another go. Aiming for just the shorts this time to save up fabric, so if it doesn't go well, hopefully I'll have enough left over to try again. And I will show you that process, how it goes and how it comes out. After double checking measurements, I concluded that my waist is around a 14 and my hips are between an 8 and a 10. So based on the chart listed in Gertie's book of finished measurements. So with that in mind, I made some adjustments to the pattern pieces and hopefully they're going to work out well. So this is the Gertie Sews Vintage Casual Cigarette Pant, right? And shorts pattern, and just the top part because I'm going to be making shorts. So at the waistline, I stuck with a size 14, and around the hip point is when I reduced it to about a size 10, kind of in between an 8 and a 10. And I connected those two areas by gradually grading it down. Okay, and then I'm not sure about the crotch area, so that may end up having to be adjusted after I do the mock-up. But for now, I just left it at a 14. And then the legs, because I do have very slender legs, I kind of just left it on this side, on the hip side, about a size 8. And then going across, I went up to about a size 10. And then I gradually graded up to the size 14 at the crotch area. So we're going to see. The crotch area might be actually too big, but we're going to just see how that turns out. And I did the same thing on the front panel. Okay, so that was the back that I showed you. And then this is the front part. So basically this part here is around the size 14. And then somewhere around the hip area is when I gradually graded to between an 8 and a 10, and then I ended up around an 8 and came back with a 10 up to a 14 around here. So we're going to see how that works. Hopefully it will be a good fit. So the first step is to draw and pin and sew the darts onto the back and front pieces. So I'm starting with the back pieces. I drew the darts on with some chalk, and I'm just going to go in and pin and sew those in place before I move on to the front pieces and do the same. Okay, so I'm going to try, I've pinned down the darts. I'm going to try putting a pin right here to really make sure that I get that point nice and crisp here by just gathering this material, and I'm gonna see if that makes the dart better. I'm thinking it will, so I'll let you know how that turned out, if it was actually helpful. Okay, here are the front darts, finished and pressed. And the back darts, let me show you those. Here are the back darts, finished and pressed. So on to the next step. So the next step was to finish the edges of the pocket and pant side facings. So as you can see, I chose to go ahead and just roll the edge to finish it for a nice neat finish. So I had made a mistake already and sewn at the top instead of the sides. I got that figured out. This is always really tricky, so that when I pull it over like this, I have the understitching here. This is actually the right hip front. The next part is putting the back to the pocket, which is also very tricky, because although her information tells you how to adjust the pant leg patterns, it doesn't really just talk about this grading of the pocket fronts or the pocket itself, which I didn't grade because I didn't know. But I finally figured out, this part is really difficult, but I finally figured out that this I'm going to have to trim off, and I'm going to sew the pocket onto the front like this. Quite tricky, but hopefully it's correct. We'll definitely find out when we go to the fitting stage. Okay, so I'm going to trim this down and I'm going to sew this part on. So I have the pocket and the facing sewn together. That was quite tricky, but it is a pocket. So this is the front. This is where you can put your hands in the pocket. So after examining the fact that this pant traditionally doesn't have a waistband, but I'm going to make the Sailor Shorts version, which it calls for a waistband, I'm not going to put in the zipper yet. I think I'm going to go ahead and just sew the pant legs together and then go from there. So this part is pretty tricky. I'm going to link below a great video that I found on how to do this, because it's really not clear. So basically what you do is you take the back and the front right sides together and you sew the inseam together first, or the part that basically like goes up to your crotch area. What's weird is these two pant legs have quite different shape, so we're gonna see how that comes together, but I'm gonna do the best that I can and hopefully it will be correct. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. I have the legs all sewed up in the crotch and on the sides. Again, I'll link that tutorial below because it's quite tricky. This is the front on the inside, obviously, and the back. So I'm going to work on the waistband now. I think I'm just gonna make my own waistband. I'm not even gonna use the one that came with it, because it looks more like a facing, and I don't want that. I want that. I want a proper waistband. So I'm gonna get that waistband done, and then I'm going to attach the waistband, and I am going to rip through this seam here far enough to put in a zipper. So the zipper on camera, it looks like it's black. Actually, it is a navy. This is maybe a cobalt blue, but it's the closest I have, and it is a very nice zipper. So I will pin, sew it in, and rip that seam open after I get the waistband. I have the zipper in and the waistband on, and so far it's looking really good. As you can see, not exactly straight, not perfect, but all in all, I think this fabric was a lot easier to work with. So now comes the moment of truth, the fitting. I think I've done it right. We're going to find out. So I am going to try these on, see how they fit, and hopefully they will be a perfect fit. If they're a perfect fit, I will proceed adding the buttons. Now that I found that the fit was just about perfect, other than maybe the derriere could be a bit more fitted, but I think what I'm going to do is first hem and then check the fit again, because that can change how things look. So I'm going to take a good probably 6 inches off the bottom of this. At least 4. Maybe I'll do 4 first. I'll just cut 4 off and then I'll hem it so I can kind of have a bigger rolled hem. I think that'll look really cute. Okay, so here you can see the progress. I have the waistband in. Here are the little the pockets to place your hands. And the hemmed shorts. And the back looks like this. I need to press it one more time, obviously, and roll it. But I'm really happy. So the only thing I have left to do, because I've got the zipper in, is I'm going to put a clasp at the top here to hold it together. And then I am going to put buttons on the front of it. So I'll show you how I'm going to place the buttons. I matched buttons here. I have 4 that are identical, and then I have these 2 that are larger but similar, and I have these 2 that are even larger. So I'm going to go from small to big, following along the line of the seams in the middle, and I think that'll look really nice. Now in her book she recommends putting them along the sides of the pockets. But since my hips are narrow, I think it's better to place them in the middle because I didn't have as much of a rounded curve like the original pattern for women with more hips. So I'm going to put them in the middle here just like this, and I think it's going to be really cute. Alright, once I get those 2 things finished, the garment will be complete, and I will show you that, and I will try it on so you can see how the fit worked out. Here's the end result. The crotch is still not perfect. It's not my perfect pant, and I will revisit this pattern, but so far so good. Thanks for watching.